Right, a friend has given me this old 5 kVA generator, but it's been sitting outside for probably 15 years, just half undercover on a little shed. So it would have had a bit of rain in it, and as you can see it's pretty rusty, and I don't know if it still works. But the brushes have been taken out at some stage, so I'm going to have to make some new brushes for that. It spins freely, everything seems okay apart from those brushes, so I'll try and get some brushes in there and we'll give it a test and see if it's going to generate, and then yeah, rig it up to the tractor and make some free power. Right, so I've got to get those to stay in there somehow. I'll try some epoxy glue and see how that works, because then I can set them on the right angle. I'll just give those a quick scratch on the sides so that the glue keys in there a bit better. Some glue powder on there. That should do it. They're moving freely. It's all plugged in. Now I've got those on, I'll file all the rust off these terminals so they make a good contact. Some of these connections don't look that flash. Right, I got it up to about 150 volts. by flashing the windings, but now the pulley is slipping on the shaft, so I'll have to shim that up so it's not spinning. It's getting there. I think it's going to work. So that should tighten it up quite a bit, I think. I've got this little 1200 watt heater. We'll plug that in and see what it does. Well, that was definitely working. Not quite getting up to the right voltage, but I think the belt was slipping a little bit. It was getting harder to hold tight with that load on it, but it's good to know it does work. And now that I've got it running, I'm going to move on to the second part of the plan. So I'm going to attach that generator somewhere up here on the back of this tractor and run it with a PTO. And then I'm going to try and run it on vegetable oil, because I can get quite a bit of that for free. If I can have a backup generator powered by the tractor, run with vegetable oil, then it's going to be another form of free power. So yeah, it'll be a good little backup. If the turbine ever goes down, I can just crank this up and power the whole house with vegetable oil. And also I should be able to do welding and run the air compressor and that sort of thing with it as well, because it's a 5 kilowatt generator. So yeah, it should run most things. I had the heater on 2400 watts on full, and the grinder, which takes about 1000 watts to start, just over 3000 watts, and it was, yeah, it seemed to be handling it fine. It was a little bit lower in the voltage. It's supposed to be up around 230, 240, but I think that was just because I didn't quite have it up to speed. Like, I was up around 1300 RPM, and it likes to be around about 15. So I'll get a smaller pulley for there, and we'll try that again, and we should be able to just run it at 1500 RPM with the tractor basically just idling. Hello hernia. Right, the new pulley has arrived. It's 12cm diameter, running off a 29cm drive pulley. So I shouldn't need to rev the tractor so high to get in the generating range now. The end of the shaft is mushroomed for some reason. Someone's hammered on it at some stage. The adjustable one fitted alright because it's just a compression sleeve that fits over there, but the solid pulley doesn't fit on there, so I'm having to take a bit of metal off the mushroomed part and just to bring it down to where it should be, and then it should fit on okay. Chuck it in there for a few minutes. That'll expand it and it should slide right on. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. Alright, that's all wired up and ready to go. I've put an RCD and a breaker there, so the power comes straight out of the generator through the RCD, through the breaker, and 240 volts to the plug. So I'll put it through its paces now and see how it handles these various different loads. I've got the kettle, welder, cut-off saw, and a little compressor, and this old jointer, which does take a lot to start up. It quite often cuts out the inverter, which is 6,000 watt surge. Just see what it can actually do, whether it can put out that full 5 kilowatts with the brushes I made for it. I think it probably will. The weak point might be this belt there. It's quite thin, but we'll see how we go. I've actually plumbed this tractor up to run on vegetable oil because I can get a good supply of it for free. This is the diesel tank. I've bypassed that to there and just put the end of the hose up there, and got this little tank which I'll put vegetable oil in, a 3% petrol as well, just to thin it down a bit, and that's all mixed up, and that runs down here through that pipe and into the first fuel pump. And on this side I've wrapped the feed pipe around the exhaust just to preheat the oil, because they don't like running on cold oil, especially in winter. So the vegetable oil goes through here, heats up around the pipe, through to the filters and the fuel pump. I've taken off the tank return and fed it straight into the vegetable oil container, just so that we don't contaminate the straight diesel tank. So I'll run it on vegetable oil, and then before I turn the engine off, I'll switch back to straight diesel, just so that it flushes all the vegetable oil out of the fuel pump and filters, so it starts a bit easier next time. If it all works well and it doesn't mind running on the cooking oil, I'll get an automatic valve here so that I can just flick a switch and it goes between the two tanks. But we'll just test it out first and see how it goes. So this is just straight cooking oil, which has been come out of a restaurant and discarded. They were just burning it, so I thought I might as well take it. And I've put it through a centrifuge and 2 cav filters, so it's pretty clear. And I've mixed 3% petrol with it just to thin it out a little bit. So it's basically free fuel, just with a tiny bit of petrol added. Alright, that should give us a good half an hour of runtime. Oh well, that worked better than expected. I managed to run not only the jointer but the kettle as well. That must be getting up to the 5 kilowatt, I would say. The only thing that really did bog it down was the 3.2mm welding rod, up to over 100 amps. I just had to turn the revs up slightly on the tractor and handled it no problems. So now I know if I ever have trouble with the turbine, I can just get this cranking and feed it the veggie oil, and it's pretty much another form of free power. So it was actually quite a cheap project to rig up. This pulley here was $50. That's really all I had to buy. Everything else I already had lying around, and the generator didn't cost me anything. I just had to make those new brushes for it. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to click the subscribe button somewhere around there, and yeah, it'd be good to reach 500,000 subs by the end of the year. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you next time.